Well, I'm a single parent, and knowing that I am in being responsible for raising this young woman, I just want to guide her to the right way of living life wise.
Okay.
And she looks at me for decisions, and especially since she doesn't know if there's a situation that happens and she doesn't know how to deal with the situation, she'll come to me and ask me for my opinion on how I would handle a situation. Because she's seen me in the past in regards to how I deal with difficult situations, and she definitely relies on my thoughts
Okay.
and
Okay.
the way of handling difficult things, and how it always comes out in the end. It may hurt, but it does get better. And also knowing that I don't do harm to anyone, and I've not done any harm to her all these years. So authority really is also having to do with trust. Do you
Yeah.
trust the person?
Yeah. And that's a part of leadership is that we don't trust management. We do trust leaders, and that's why leaders are leaders. When they're effective, they're effective.
Yeah,
How about transparency? Are you a transparent person?
I think I am. I do wear my feelings on my sleeve, so people can actually look at me and know what kind of mood I'm in.
Okay, okay. Remind me to stay out your way. If you're not smiling, stay out your way.
Yeah.
Um, so in your life, in your finances, are you transparent with your finances? Can you talk about your finances and freely or not, or is something that you have a hard time being coming out with?
Well, knowing that my finances are my personal, just me, since it's just me, myself, and I, trying to keep up with the household. Um, I try to put on a good face, but sometimes you never know when something happens. Um, I try to deal with it myself, but sometimes
How does that work out sometimes?
it's been really hard. It really has. Um, and knowing that there are individuals out there that love me and have told me numerous times, if anything pops up, just come to me and just talk to me about it. No
I I,
judgment,
I feel you.
no,
I feel you.
no, yeah. So, but I, I just pride myself into being able to take care of myself and being able to take care of my child as well, without anybody coming in and judge and being judgmental. Because
Well,
anytime I want to tell somebody about something, I feel like I'm being judged.
we all think that, and you're right. A lot of us don't look at it as um a lot of us don't look at it as what are we doing to are we revealing too much? Are we being too open? And you can't be open to everybody. That's just
True.
that's just life.
Hmm.
But if you with people would you build up a certain cash, you should be able to share some things without the judgment, like you said, without being feeling that you're being weak. And I do have I'm gonna tell you, I do have a problem with people thinking people thinking that I'm weak. And I do have weaknesses that just like any other person who breathes in oxygen and breathes out nitrogen or carbon dioxide. Um, that's something that I feel I have to work on every day, and I'm sure you do something similar. Because but we're more transparent at work than we are in our relationships.
True.
And do why do you think that is?
Because, like you said in your previous conversations, you don't want to hurt the person that you care about.
Yeah,
You want to.
yeah, but and they also ain't paying you.
That's true.
You break up
That's
with them, you
true.
just break up with them. you break up with your job, then
No, you just don't have any money
yeah,
towards it. Yeah.
yeah. So it's understandable. It's understandable. Responsibility, that's a big one. You talked about a little bit with the authority. What is your way of being responsible?
Being responsible is making sure I have a roof over my head and the roof over my daughter's head.
Okay, so how do you go about assuming your responsibilities? And
Oh,
do you feel sometimes you can delegate your responsibilities?
oh. Let me see. Responsibility wise, well, I'm a very giving person, so I always feel like uh, eh, I take on the responsibility of making sure the people around me are happy, and I
At the
have
cost
to.
at the cost of your own happiness?
Yes, 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 and that's the hard part I'm trying to learn, and it can be hurtful when I try to make somebody happy and I'm not successful with it. So feel like I put the blame on me for that, and that shouldn't be. So that's something I'm having to learn for myself. And these last couple of years, I've definitely have seen, well, since I've turned 50, that my happiness needs to come first, in order for people around me to be happy.
No, and
So
that makes sense. That makes sense. Charity starts at home.
yes,
Charity
yes.
definitely starts at home. So you have to always remember that. If you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of somebody else?
Very true. And I'm in between of aging parents. I've got my aging parents on one side and I've got my child on the other. So I'm like I'm in the sandwich mode right now. So
And that's a lot
um
of us in Generation X. We are
most, most
we are truly
definitely.
the sandwich generation. The boomers are not letting go yet,
No.
and the millennials, the Gen Ys are coming up behind. So we are battling with how we're taking care of so many people that our needs often go unmet. And then
Very
we
much so.
you know we make some decisions, some better than others, but for the most part, you want to make sure that you keep your responsibilities and delegate some of them when you need to,
Yeah.
but also delegate the authority. Authority goes with that responsibility. If you're doing something on my behalf, I'm giving you the authority, and you're responsible for making sure that it happens. But if it goes wrong, I still take accountability, and that's the last one I have. What is your opinion about it? What do you think about it when you hear accountability? What are you thinking about?
Um being able to follow through. Having being not responsible because we already talked about that, but being counted on. If I say I'm going to do something, I want to have the reputation of being known as being someone to count on. When I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. Keep my word.
Well, there's a song by Cat, well, not Cash Money, but the other people, No Limit. It ain't my fault.
Yeah,
That's lack of accountability. If you know if you do something and something bad happens and you don't acknowledge your part in it, that's a lack of accountability.
very
Um,
much so.
if everybody has a everybody has to realize that you're not always at fault, and everybody else is not always at fault. But the thing is that you acknowledge that responsibility and be accountable for it. Say, I'm accepting the consequences of my action. In our community, especially, they say free Ray Ray. What happened? Ray Ray shot pay over there, and we just free my N word, free my N word. Like what? He needs
No,
to stay in there long as possible.
yeah,
And
exactly.
and
He
there was
brought
a
it on himself.
I don't know if you remember this is about 7, 8 years ago. It might have been longer than that. The lady with 16 kids living in
Yeah,
a living in a
the
hotel.